microphone and get comfortable, get your life. It's Thursday night. Good evening, good morning, and welcome to the Thursday night online open mic, aka Thunderlung Thursdays, presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I will be your host for the evening. I am Elemen2al. This is the liftoff, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, listen, I don't know, right? This has been something that's always just been one of those things, man. This is Thursday night. Oh man, this is Thursday night. I'm looking forward to this so very much. Listen, we know who the usual host is, the one and only Thunderlung in the building. You know, listen, we do this, of course, every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. If you are watching on one of these streams and you would like to join us in the Zoom this evening, the number is on your screen, 977-539-856. Come in and join us, right? Get some of this love. Like Ray Jane likes to say, right? Come and get some of it. Don't leave any of it behind, all right? Tonight is no different, all right? So, clearly, make sure you're following the usual host at itsrayjane.com. That too. Make sure you're following the crew. You know, listen, there's a lot of things going on. The hosts are doing a lot of different things right now. So we are planning some things. Be on the lookout for all of them. All right. Clearly, we do this week after week. We've been doing this for quite a long time, thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. So we would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to newyourekan.org/contribute or by hitting the Cash App at $ New Eurekan Poets Cafe. So, poets, this evening, you have 3 minutes to rock, all right? Whether it's music or comedy or poetry, right? Any language, any style, any form, everyone is welcome in this building. There are 20 guaranteed spots this evening, plus the good luck round always goes down. I'm telling you, it does. It will be open this evening, so anyone in the space that is not on the list and you know, feeling compelled that you want to rock, the good luck list will be open. All right. Also, don't get cute because you will get the boot. All right. You know, our resident boot, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. All right. This is usually the space where I tell people there is no censorship. Okay. There are some explicit lyricists, right? You're gonna hear some compelling poetry. You're gonna hear some really deep. Hopefully, we're gonna hear some really deep music in the lyrics. And listen, it is really about expressing that energy and sharing it with the folks. All right. However, there is no hate speech or any ism. All right. That will not be tolerated. All right. Again, don't get cute. You will get the boot. However, if you see something strange or, you know, something that maybe offended you, please let us know. All right. Please let us know so we can try to get that handled as soon as possible. Sign up tonight is closed, right? The list opens 24 hours before the show, which would be Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. You go to newyourekan.org, you click on full events calendar, you click on the Thursday that you want to perform on, you need an artist RSVP ticket to get on the guaranteed list. It's the only way to get on, and they only populate 24 hours before the show. So make sure you're plugging in, all right? Tonight's list, it is full of amazing poets who do this thing with these words every Thursday. Folks, listen, this is a space of usual suspects, and they are usual suspects for a reason, because they make this thing go. They make Thursday night what it really is. So it is showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to it. Look at all these beautiful faces. Oh, I know, right? What is he doing here on a Thursday? It must be a glitch in the matrix. Absolutely, folks. Shout out to the Queen Ray Jane. got into some things, right? Everything is cool. But I will be taking over the ship for this evening. Listen, I am so excited to be here with all of you this evening. Listen, again, I get double duty this week. And so I get twice the love and I get to share it with all of y'all. All right. So I don't see, oh, wait a minute. Did he did. See, you almost got me there. Mr. Foreman. So coming up first this evening is a gentleman who always has a rhyme intact, like he carries them around in a backpack on his back, because they are always just ready to smack you across the face. The one and only Eddie Foreman is in the building. Listen, it's always great to hear your poetry, Eddie, and you're setting it off this evening. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, man. Let's get to it, Eddie. Come on.
Woo! Let's do this, my brother, like no other, with words like thunder. Woo! All right. Is Eric okay? This gonna have mom and dad lingering so many different stages. So please mind the word for your pages. I don't want to burn some cages. Is Eric ready for some smut to get out of that rut? If Aaron ready for some grease to go inside your crease? All right, let's do this. This is called Scarlet Oasis. Steamy clouds emit from the water as raw passion explodes for the eternal love for each other. The deep scorching desires while igniting the texture of their flesh on fire. Deep breaths of moanings and groanings in the air, engulfing echoes of seductive affair, quickly losing their sense of place in time while grinding between their naked behinds. Lips melting on flesh hotter than lava as their lust locked with lustful embrace, while everything is hot, scattered, and out of place. The burning stares between their eyes while coming closer, closer, closer to their blazing surprise. Their wet, hardened bodies trying to reach a solar lining while persistently combining. The blazing wind rushing throughout while a rampant volcano shouts. They dive deeper and deeper to put out their lustful flame, but their minds were consumed by a passion to unleash a new definition of satisfaction. The salty embers rain down their flesh while the jolts fuel their feisty mess. They dance nonstop to an instinctive tune while they're engulfed in a blazing typhoon. Their bodily melody of a sublime taboo while their lustful flame quickly grew. Their juices spraying through the air while they remained animalistic and unaware. The lustful embers kindling their skin while they dance without a frigid end. The waves of earthquakes shake their wet bodies open while their souls transcend, quickly penetrating to subdue their inner raging beast while thrusting higher for a majestic release. Their bodies sending waves of earthquakes to keep their lustful desires awake. Their thirsty mouths hunger for more while they keep banging on each other's door. A bumping rhythm of blazing echoes while pleasure comes in a billion crimson arrows. The roars of pleasurable scream while tasting the sweetness of each other's cream. The massive steam clear while their bodies are naked without fear. Their orange spotlight draws near while their energy disappears. Thank you.
Listen, I warned y'all, right? There's some cats that's gonna do this all night. And here's the first one. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Eddie Foreman. Give it up for Eddie Foreman.
All right, Eddie, way to go, man. Okay.
Eddie, coming
You don't disappoint.
Never do. Thanks for coming through. I love each and every one of you.
All right, Eddie.
Right, coming in hot, as Eddie Flame-tastic tends to do, right? Finding new definitions of satisfaction, new ways to write his poetry and weave it into our ears every night of the week, if he could, of course. Thank you, Eddie. Make sure you folks are plugging in with Flame-tastic. He's always doing something. He'll either, write some poetry, or he's running movie nights, on the Fincabulary platform. Listen, this dude is all over the place. So plug in with Eddie Foreman. Appreciate you, Eddie. Coming up next, this gentleman. Listen, I have been listening to this gentleman's music for a couple of years now. And he always, whether it's his own music or whether he's covering someone else's music, his vibe is his own. And I love his voice, his music, his sound is always on point, right? The one and only Bill Elkins in the building. Listen, what you're about to hear, you probably never heard before. If you have heard it before, it's an experience about to happen. Bill, take it away.
Man, thanks a lot. Anyway, hello everybody. My name is Bill Elkins, Long Beach, California. Beautiful day here today for a change, no rain. Anyway, I'd like to do an original. It's one that I've played a couple times before. It's entitled My Diamond on Black Velvet. Hope you like it. If I could read, I would. If I could read, I would. I kissed you quickly, afraid of your body, in terminal sedation. Rest my traveling animal, like a diamond on black velvet, silent as air and still as stone. If I could weep, I would. If I could weep, I would. If I could, I would. No longer greedy, 4 feet heavenward. Time to lick the wounds of mortal agony. Find meaning to your loss, like a diamond on black velvet. My beast with cause, my beast with purpose. If I could weep, I would. If I could weep, I would. You know I would. Under the guise of snow, the gray clouds pass, like a brooding poet, impossible to weep. No longer life behold, your journey is accomplished. You are silent as air and still as stone. If I could weep, I would. If I could weep, I would. Glance the others wistfully sigh, and are confused and restless. Your absence leaves a void, which they struggle to overcome. You are their diamond on black velvet, 'cause they love and miss you so. They are silent as air and still as stone. If I could weep, I would. If I could weep, I would. I am in angst, waiting for the rain, waiting for the white rain to fall like diamonds onto black velvet. Yeah, to fall like diamonds onto black velvet. My dearest Francine Blanche, you're my precious diamond, my diamond on black velvet. Yeah, You're my precious diamond, my diamond on black velvet. You're my precious diamond, my diamond on black velvet. Thank you, everybody.
There is something about that song that I absolutely just heard today. And I've heard that song quite a few times, Bill, but I just heard it today. Unmute yourself, please. Show some love to Bill.
You've got that great kind of,
Thank you, everybody.
Still distinctly your voice, man. That was great. That chorus, just beautiful with that high note.
Thanks, man. I got to write some new songs. That's what I got to do.
Well, yeah, go for it. But your old
I do,
ones
man.
are still great.
I appreciate it.
Well,
Thanks, everybody.
To use your lines, Bill, if we could listen to you all night long. So thank you.
Okay. Well, now I definitely have to write some new songs.
Definitely. Thank you, Bill, for coming through this evening with another incredible original song. And I said, I've heard that song. I've heard you sing this song before, but I finally got something of it today. And you said a diamond on black velvet, right? And it struck me because I realized that in that moment when a diamond is sitting on black velvet, it sparkles so bright against the contrast of the black velvet, right? It's so magnificent. Man, this is why I love songs, right? Because when you're writing songs about something or someone, you can really say the things, all the things, right? It's like, oh, you can't be that kind of mushy or whatever the case is. But in songs, you can do it and it works beautifully. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for all the sparkle that you put into every lyric that you share with us. Thank you. All right, folks. Coming up next, this gentleman, a world traveler, a world-renowned poet with multiple pieces of literature to his credit, and probably has the most incredible running mate. Shout out to Pinky on the couch all the time. The one and only Jeff Cottrell is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, Jeff. It has been far too long since I've seen you. Please unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Jeff. And please take it away.
Well, speaking of travel, you're going to find me in New York in May, the weekend of May 19 to 23. I'm going to be there. So I will literally be in the house at the New Yorican, I imagine, at some point during that weekend. So if anybody knows of anything else going on, feel free to let me know that weekend anyway. Okay, this one's relatively new. It's called The Following Poem. The following poem contains strong language, suggestive content, graphic violence, and scenes depicting smoking and drug use. Viewer discretion is advised. The following poem contains flashing images, strobe lighting, subliminal messages, and rapid editing that may not be appropriate for all viewers. The following poem contains racial and sexist slurs, depictions of physical and psychological abuse, descriptions of self-harm, and other disturbing material that may offend or trigger viewer sensibilities. Please take the appropriate self-care. The following poem contains music by Justin Bieber and Nickelback. Please block your hearing if required. The following poem contains banal imagery, tired cliches, hackneyed similes, lazy metaphors, uneven rhythm, and inept alliteration. Feel free to roll eyes and sigh as desired. The following poem contains descriptions of oversexed chickens wearing lederhosen and shouting random phrases in Greek. The following poem contains weak arguments full of straw men, goalpost movements, false dilemmas, false equivalencies, red herrings, generalizations, slippery slopes, whataboutism, and reductio ad absurdum. The following poem contains hot takes, trolling, shaming, humble bragging, vague booking, spam, obscure texting lingo, and cat videos with corny music and misspelled subtitles. The following poem contains repeated content warnings about the poem itself, some of which tend to get silly or irrelevant. Please refrain from applauding if necessary. The following poem contains frequent Shakespeare quotations and gratuitous references to obscure Renaissance paintings and Baroque concertos. Please feel free to scream pretentious as a means of signaling your cultural modesty. The following poem contains depictions of disco dancing platypuses, giggling tomatoes, arrogant mice, gutless wonders, flamboyant gerbils, baby slugs screaming rude words at your child's kindergarten teacher, and waffle makers rife with ennui. The following poem is based on a true story. So that was called The Following Poem, and I'm going to be on UK radio again this Saturday on Hannah's Bookshelf, North Manchester FM. I believe you can listen to it online. It's 10 to 12 Saturday morning. I'll put some stuff in the chat. Ta-da.
Listen, this guy, this Jeff Cottrell guy, he just does this. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Jeff Cottrell, ladies and
Ron
gentlemen.
will have the chicken lederhosen ready for you when you get to New York.
Oh, I'll get you all the info. And to quote your lines, the following poem was another masterpiece by Jeff Cottrell and Pinky. Thank you for sharing.
Hey, listen.
Pinky sharing credit.
Like I said, man, listen, I listen, you let the community tell you, right? I don't have to sit here and, blow a bunch of smoke, which I don't do. But listen, I think we're all ready to hear more of your tired cliches and inept alliterations if you so choose to bring them back. I really do love how you said descriptions of self-care, right? In all those things, right? You're saying, please take the appropriate self-care, right? It's what you do, Jeff. Like, damn it. Like, clearly you're the brain and Pinky is just back there hanging out because your poetry is always so incredible. Appreciate you, Jeff Cottrell. Make sure you're plugging in with Jeff Cottrell. Dude's gonna be on the radio in the UK, man. Come on, plug in with Jeff Cottrell, man. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you. That dude is a valued usual suspect on Thursday night. Let me tell you. Coming up next, come on, Michael Sindler, you know what I'm about to say. This dude is part blacksmith, maybe all blacksmith, but he is one of the foundations of our community. He is Mr. Lighthouse Writers, the one and only Michael Sindler. Please unmute yourself. Let the folks know about this incredible space and take it away.
Okay, thanks, Ray Jane. I mean, Elemental. Yes. LighthouseWriters.org, people. Check it out. Classes, workshops, events, and things. I just started a new 8-week class last night. It was wonderful. Already got so much from it. And 7 more weeks of getting a lot of things. Yeah, it is always great to be here. And I thought I'd start out. We know that we have made a huge shift in everything. So it is now officially spring, which is beautiful. So I thought I'd go ahead and start with this one called Equinox. The first light ray of equinox thrusts itself over the rounded dome of floating globe, slowly creeping across corrugated surface. Plum shadows lengthen and narrow as thick amber oozes from the east. Perfect harmony of time and season's thrall, all nature wakes becalmed. Breathing deep, final guarded gasp of cruel winter, lips expel the last chill song, morn's warmth caresses creation, next inhalation swallows new year whole, holy communion of buds, grains, and grasses, vibrating growth spurt, catalyst ignites gelled essence of sap, sun sings flame to ring and flow, kindled waft ripens into spring. And then the other side of spring, we haven't really got it here yet, but I'm sure in some locales this is already happening, and it's a growing menace. The worthless, no good, stinking Bradford pear once more produces blooms to foul our air. Though its pure white blossoms may look pretty, it's a bane to every town and city. Every park, every foul perfumed street in spring is lessened by its putrid reek. Civic planners, in contrast to their oath, have cursed us with this fruitless evil growth. From all specimens of nature's wonder, how could they make such an epic blunder? Even Joyce Kilmer, were he here to see, would hate this goddamn smelly, awful tree. And because of the fact that I can't ignore the women out there, because it's Women's History Month, and we need to constantly remember that. We should remember it for more than just a damn month, but at least for this, I'm just going to do a little haiku that I call ingenue, part of what they have to deal with. Hollywood triad, pretty and funny and smart. Try not to get old. Thank y'all very much.
Oh my goodness. Woo. Yeah, try not to get old. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Michael Sindler.
Michael.
Michael.
Yes,
Michael.
Wonderful.
Proud. There you go.
Let me tell you,
White House
Michael
writer.
Sindler is one of those poets. I say jokingly all the time that he is part blacksmith, but very few people that I know continue to push themselves like Michael Sindler does, right? So I appreciate that always, keeping all your tools sharp all the time. And that line, oh my gosh, it just swallows New Year's whole. Ah, come on. And then the putrid reek, listen, you listen, the tree, it could be things, it could be people, it could be legislation that passed in Mississippi. Who knows? I'm just saying, thank you, Michael Sindler, for always being sharp. Always being sharp. Thank you. Coming up next, this gentleman, I like to say, the week isn't right until we get a song from this cat, right? Always so on point with it. And I love how he loves his queen. Shout out Deneen. Listen, this gentleman is so on point. I remember even once he even had his daughter in the building singing with him, the one and only Joski C. Please unmute yourself, Joski. Let the folks know what it really is, what's going on, man. Set the week off. Come on, Joski.
Oh, hey, Elemen2al. Coming through, can you hear this guitar? Wonderful. So I'd like to play something in honor of Women's History Month. And I wrote this song for Lelia Marie Harris, a historical figure that's very important to me, my mother-in-law. And this is called Lelia's Song. When I met Lelia, we sat on her red steps, singing songs to the night. I love her daughter, she made me welcome, watching the years roll by. She said in her dream she could fly in her chair, so she flew through the window, over the rooftops, over the streets of the town. She flew into the sky and up to the stars and didn't really want to come down. So I asked her that day, does she feel afraid? When she turned her face, so much grace, she lit up the whole place, lit up the whole place. She lit up the whole place with starlight.
See, I told y'all, man. The week is now in balance because we got the chance to hear Joski C. Unmute yourself, folks. Give it up for Joski C and his
Oh
amazing.
my
That was
God,
so
that was so beautiful.
great
Beautiful.
job.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
oh,
Beautiful
he just
song.
like
Beautiful,
totally
Josie.
reset us to a higher place.
Just
Oh,
in time. Yes.
Beautiful.
oh, God. Oh.
I love all of you good people. I really do.
Joski is one of those folks, like I said, and I love musicians who are very comfortable in their space, right? And Joski has his flow locked in. I was talking to a poet earlier about their flow being locked in, and Joski, your playing is definitely locked in. I love again, as I mentioned with Bill at the start, how you put your words into a song are very different than how you would write it in a poem or how you would write a love letter. But to me, and I used to write songs, a love song is probably the best love letter because you can say things that you wouldn't necessarily say. But then you took it to another level right there, Joski, and you were talking about the woman who gave birth to your queen. You said, I love her daughter. She made me welcome. That right there is the beginning of a beautiful gathering, a togetherness, right? That everyone doesn't necessarily get a chance to experience, but you did that. She made you feel like that, and you only graced her name even more by telling us with so much grace, she lit up the whole place with starlight. Thank you, Josie. Incredible, as always. Appreciate you sharing her memory with us. Told y'all, Josie's one of those folks. This is why I love Thursdays, man. It is such the energy. Folks know me, I'm all about energy, and this one is magnificent. Coming up next, to add to the energy of the room, our resident superhero, the one and only daughter of Krypton. Listen, this poet makes space for so many people. Look out for National Poetry Month. It's gonna be crazy. They have so many things coming at you. Listen, the one and only Finn Bell is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know how they can plug into all the incredible things you do. Take it away.
I am on Instagram. Thank you so much, Elemental. I am on Instagram. I am Finn_Bell. So there is a poet in our global community who is much beloved to me. She is a fellow Pinay, Filipina. I believe she's based in Portugal. She had a book that came out last year. It is her debut collection called My Fears Out Loud. So I want to read a poem from Maureen Medina. And this is called, if I could get to the page. It's called In the Sun. Or Be the Sun, I'm sorry, Be the Sun. I used to be scared of ghosts, but my mom always said to fear people instead. She said that ghosts are just lost souls trying to find their place, but humans harm. I can't see with my glasses on. Sorry. I never felt this true until I learned what monsters are. The contraptions we've made to enslave each other, structures designed to keep us divided, a hopeless system meant to distract us. Bereft of our humanity, we are the villains in bedtime stories. We are the captors of the innocent. We create the idea of freedom only to ensure we never have it. Imprisoned, beaten, raped. Give me one good reason why. You're a slave meant to recognize your master. Bow down so you can't figure out how to escape. How do we let this get so far? How do we allow and perpetuate the concept of other? Humans or non-humans, we focus on our differences like color, status, and species, though we are the same in all the ways that matter. Don't we crave friendship? Don't we understand what a broken heart feels like? Don't we recognize the sound of someone crying out for a loved one? We can't exist without water. We cannot live without love. It is the very air we breathe, the sun that sustains all life. We can never be free if we are the oppressors. For to be one or the other would still leave us anchored to an unforgiving world. Who created the rules, and why do we still follow them? Break those chains, smash the isms. There is no other. It is simply that I am you and you are me. They say the eyes betray us. When you look into their eyes, do you see a mirror, a reflection of one's being? Or do you look away in shame for all that you are and all that you have tolerated? Until you speak up and make a change, you are not only complicit, you remain the monster you teach your children to fear. The scariest part, that isn't a tale, is that they too become their greatest fear. Rather than acting like other animals whose love knows no bounds, we behave instead as humans do, reckless, destructive, and unforgiving. What legacy should we leave behind for the next generation if we don't plunder first for disgracing our Mother Earth and all her creatures? We'll have the future to answer to. When asked what you have done to end the suffering, when asked who you choose to be, when asked if your decisions hurt or helped, what would you say for yourself? Were you a protector or destroyer? In your care because of your choices, did someone love or languish? As a human, cause no harm. Don't be the ghost of regret that will haunt those we leave behind. Instead, be the sun. Thank you. Hello, let me look again. I can see you guys again. Yay.
Wow. Oh, and that's a cover poem. Come on now. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Finn Bell.
Great read, great poem.
That was very
Yeah.
nice of you to
nice.
do that as a cover too. It's very giving of you.
Okay, Michael, really, listen, it's one thing to bring someone's work to cover a poem, but to give it the energy and life, that's something else, right? Listen, I've never read it, so that's my first experience to it, and it was incredible. A hopeless system meant to distract us, right? She said, fear people instead. Humans harmed. Right? We are the same in the ways that matter. 100%. Right? I've been reading some things lately that, talks about how they tried to separate people using science, and it didn't work. It blew up in their face. And I like that where he said, you look into people's eyes, do you see a mirror? Right? Do you see the reflection of yourself standing in front of you? That is a powerful line and sentiment. Thank you, Finn Bell, for bringing Maureen Medina's work to us. Make sure you're plugging in with both of those incredible poets. Coming up next, this gentleman, first of all, he has on one of the flyest t-shirts in the world. This gentleman is always coming through with a level of gusto that is unmatched. Everything that this cat does, from collaborations to, forgive me, I didn't come at you Monday night, but I didn't forget, to coming and flipping a whole poem in French. This gentleman, the Magus, is in the building, the one and only Gustav Salas. Take it away, man, come on.
Hey, Elemental, my t-shirt is fly, is it not? Thank you, beloved poets. I'm going to get right to it. I'm right up on a time limit here. I'm doing one original and a cover. This is Welcome to Dystopia. Idiocracy gone to hell in A Handmaid's Tale, like a remixed 1980 floor show. Their brave new world's really a plague-ridden medieval times. People playing war games when, strange game, the only winning move is not to play. Blade Runners terminating skin jobs, Road Warriors beyond Thunderdome, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves, the other guy's Soylent Green. It's people, but I'm going to bust out the Matrix because I see there is no spoon. The God Emperor of Dune. I make like Omega Man and kill some zombies before Skynet unleashes the Terminators. You are number 5. I am not a number. I am a free man. You are number 5. I am not a number. I am a free man. The prisoner imagines the cell. The jury has sent him to hell. His 6x8 slice of dystopia within a dystopia. America's prison industrial cornucopia. Complex but as simple as a slave plantation. 2 million people in incarceration. The US, the world leader in prison population, domestic infant supplier exploitation, penny wise but pound foolish, we're Gacy clown ghoulish. That's it, we're like Bozo the Clown foolish. 698 Americans out of 100,000 are behind bars. China's only got 121 per 100,000. Home of the free hours? Pardon the prisoners of the drug war, fought in error, bring healing to communities where once there was terror. We built our society on a broken foundation. White supremacy and guns are the seeds of our damnation. Guns have turned Americans into prisoners of unconscience, afraid of school, afraid of the grocery, afraid you'll be the next Walmarter. Shot, live streamed, and accompanied by a racist manifesto Kickstarter. Tucker Carlson paraphrased by the incel loser who has taken society's abuse and is now the abuser. The abused is now the abuser. And this, in honor of Women's History Month, I'm going to read by one of my favorite female poets and musicians. This is The Killing Jar by Susie Sue and Stephen Severin of Susie and the Banshees. Down where this ugly man seeks his sustenance, down in the blue midnight flare, a glass hand cuts through the water, scything into his twisted roots. Then from his eyes spring fireflies, breathing life into a roaring disguise. Needles and sins, sins and needles. He's gasping for air in the wishing well. Dust to rust, ashes on gashes. Hand round the killing jar, hand around the killing jar. A soft hoodwink of shadows the size of make-believe, punching through his spike of rage. A glass hand cuts through the water, snuffing out the magic fury. Then from inside, bolt lightning cries, swiftly crush the final muffled sighs. Needles and sins, sins and needles, he's gasping for air in the wishing well. Dust to rust, ashes on gashes, hand round the killing jar, hand around the killing jar, the killing jar, the killing jar. Thank you.
I warned y'all about that cat. I warned y'all about that cat. He does that. Please unmute yourself. Give it up for Gustav.
Yeah, another.
I cannot wait to share
I know what
stage
he's
with
gonna
this man.
bring.
Beautiful.
So much.
Listen, shout out Gustav. Shout out Gustav for sure. For real. Appreciate you, Gustav. Listen, there is only one Gustav Salas. And I'm thankful that I can say that I know that cat, that I work with that cat, that I've written poems with that cat, because he just says things that no one else says, right? It's what I love about our community, right? As long as we spent time together, years and all this stuff, none of us sound alike, right? We all bring our different perspectives every single night that we come to this microphone. And I love that about all of y'all, right? Like you said, there is no spoon, right? Complex, but simple as a plantation. God. Told y'all, man. Listen, you don't have to take my word for it, right? Do your research and find out what's going on in Mississippi, man. A racist manifesto Kickstarter, come on. And then he goes and finishes it with the killing jar. Needles and sins and needles. Man, I mean, that might as well be the name of a tattoo shop. Like, incredible, man. Thank you, Gustav, for bringing that heat to us this evening. Always great to hear you, man. Make sure you're following Gustav Salas. The Magus is into all kinds of things. Listen, shout out to Thomas, Open Minds, and Catalyst. Hope everything is going good for them this evening. Also, real quick shout out, Serene. I seen her in the building. There's a couple other folks that we will definitely get to. Jenny, definitely appreciate you for hanging out. So coming up next, this gentleman, who is not your damn chihuahua, first of all, we used to like to say he's a bard amongst poets. It is time for our TED Talk, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman has a tendency to raise the IQ in every room that he steps in. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Tez. Let the folks know how they can get in touch with all your incredible work. Please, it's always great to hear you, Mr. Tez. Take it away.
All right, folks, good evening. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You can catch me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019, on Facebook under Pandemic Poets. I'm going to jump in because I got lots to say. So this is titled, for my 1990s folks, put your hats on. The Narc in All of Us. Bo Beep, little Bo Beep, now's the time for hide and seek. On November 15, 2022, a particular southern state representative of the MAGA mode political persuasion now was conspicuously criticized by Norwegian journalist Morten Oberby, quote, the stupidity of comparing a military. We've been playing the game of hide and seek, played as early as 1364 by Alice Costin, when she played Bo Beep when giving a short measure of ale to a tavern customer. Hide and seek, discourse formations of control and manipulation of people used to promote certain beliefs and values and to suppress others. The logical fallacy of false equivalences, the assertion that two things are similar simply because they share some characteristics. Think of it like a horse and a stable genius. Yes, that kind of bad metaphor, of course. False equivalencies are dangerous tools because they are used to mislead people and to prevent them from taking action on important issues. Her pretty feet, like snail did creep a little out and they started at Bo Beep, did soon draw in again. The road to hell on this continent has been consistently asphalted by alternate facts. The fallacious phallogocentrism of exaggerated degree of similarity, the impotent importance between things, and the obligatory omission of differences, and marginalia of magnitude in order of things being equated, terrorized migrants versus terrorizing military mercenaries. Little Bo Beep has lost her sheep and can't tell where to find them. Leave them alone, they'll come home and bring their tails behind them. The tales told of cause and effect have always been an inverted discourse formation. The usual narrative of blame the sheep for the shepherd, Camila Focas and her work, Border Bandits, Hollywood on Southern Frontier, shows the hide and seek of drug trafficking that terrorized masses, herding and preyed as trafficked masses, the North American need for an intentional external enemy to cover the days of Contra Gate, crack wars, and the ghetto splendor of Ricky Ross and Oscar Danilo Blando, Norwin Meneses, and the death of Gary Webb, and authoring Dark Alliance. For the last 30 years, TV show films from the 1980s to the present have been fundamental to bringing out the narc in all of us. Forever in our psyche, da-dum, the piece of music written by Mike Post and Pete Carpenter, every Ghetto Boys terror theme, music for all Law and Order shows since the 1990s, simple two-tone melody repeated over and over again, like the 7-Eleven chime declaring the unwanted BIPOC customer. The repetition inducing the visceral sense of urgency and tension, the violence committed by police and military forces during prolonged war have wreaked a psychological toll, debilitating as deadly acts of the drug cartels themselves, according to a study by the Mexican Center for Economic Research and Teaching. The war on drugs is a strategy that is causing damage to citizens who are not directly involved in the conflict. That's a quote. Though the war on drugs is dire, those not part of the conflict tire, non-direct victims must be seen. Mental health aid to those in need. The gruesome killing methods of drug gangs, along with the advertising of their murderous acts by criminal organizations through so-called narco messaging and the victimization of friends and acquaintances, works through stress transmission channels for those not directly involved. Oh, little Bo B fell fast asleep and dreamt she heard them bleeding. But when she awoke, she found it a joke, for they were all still fleeting. I'm going to stop there.
Thank you. Golly. Whew. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Tess.
Yeah.
Wow, Tez.
Kicking
Yes.
it.
Oh, now.
Oh, man.
Professor Taz.
Whoa.
That was a machine gun right there.
Right?
Okay. It just like got an auto reload. He just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming with it. Listen, Mr. Tez is one of those folks. It's the only folk that I know that does what Mr. Tez does. I told you he has a tendency to raise the IQ in every room that he walks into. Terrorize masses. Like I can't believe that. Listen, and I got excited, right? Because he started talking that talk. And I know maybe, some of y'all might not have got it, but he started talking that drug life in Miami, right? He started talking about, Mr. Blanco. He started talking about Freeway Ricky Ross. Like, listen, it's some things that go on, right? The war on drugs is a strategy, right? It is. It's coded language. It always has been, right? Narco messaging. Listen, stress transmissions for those not involved, 100%. Right? They're considered collateral damage from a war on drugs that's actually a war on poor people. I mean, because usually that's where the drugs get dumped, right? Because I don't know any poor people that have planes or legislation or people at borders that get those things across. So just saying, it's heavy, Mr. Tez. And he started way back in 1364. So again, make sure you're plugging in with Mr. Tez Asomo. All right. He's not your damn chihuahua. Make sure you get his book on Amazon, write a review, because listen, that dude's work is incredible 100% of the time. Appreciate you, Mr. Tez. All right. Coming up next. Listen, I've caught this cat a few times. I see he's got his instrument strapped on, and I hope he is ready to rip. Listen, I love Thursdays because these three gentlemen always got something hot off the presses, and their voices are just always so damn on point. The one and only Adam Granger is about to step to the microphone. Listen, unmute yourself, man. Get these folks ready for what you're about to do to our systems. Take it away.
All right, so for today, I thought I would do sort of a cover, doing a slightly lower energy song because getting over a bit of a cold. But I've decided I'm going to do a cover of a song by Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. They're a band. And this song is in turn a cover of a poem by Edgar Allan Poe called Annabel Lee. Here we go. Many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may have known by the name of Annabel Lee. This maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea. We loved with a love that was more than a love. I, my Annabel Lee, with a love that winged seraphs never coveted on me. And this was the reason that long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, wind blew out of a cloud by night, chilling my Annabel Lee. So that her high-born kingsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels not so happy in heaven when envying her. That was the reason as all now in this kingdom by the sea. The winds came out of a cloud by night, chilling and killing my beautiful Annabelle Lee. But our love was stronger by far than the love of those who are older than we, of many far wiser than we. Neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons under the sea, could ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. With the night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling. My darling, my life, and my bride. In her sepulchre by the sea. In her tomb by the sounding sea.
And that cat said he was sick, y'all. He said he was getting over a cold, right? Unmute yourself. Let Adam know what he just did. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
I
that was a
feel
great
better.
cover.
A
Yeah.
beautiful,
Go
and appropriate
on.
backing
Yeah.
Oh, that was
for
dope.
Feel better,
for
Adam.
that poem.
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering if someone was gonna say that. Listen, first off, Adam, definitely feel better. Secondly, that crunchy guitar that's on your shoulder right there, whoo, I think it loves you. I don't know who loves each other more, you or the guitar to you. But y'all definitely have some synergy. Popping. Listen, folks, he said it was inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. And if you aren't familiar with Annabelle Lee, check it out, right? Listen, for the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. Damn it. Like, listen, Edgar Allan Poe just happened to be no slouch when it came to writing poetry. And I think one of the hardest things to do is adapt something for another medium, right? Whether it be turning a book into a movie or a poem into a song, it's not always easy, right? But listen, when you do it well, when you do it right, it comes off just like we just heard it. Thank you for sharing that with us, Adam. Totally appreciate that. Whew, that guitar, boy, that shit get you going. I love it. All right. Before we move on, I will pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoom verse, the other half of this online business, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Ron, what it do, man? Take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemental. I am Ron Mark Thompson. I am the tech assistant in the background, ensuring that we can run this beautiful online open mic here on Mondays and Thursdays. And I also work at some of the in-person events in the New York Poets Cafe. Just want to make sure that before anyone starts a rumor, Ray Jane is doing okay. She's not sick. She just had another commitment, in-person commitment today that she was not able to cancel. But we all work on other jobs, we all have to pay our bills. And she actually wanted me to give you all the message that she misses you. This is the text message. Tell everyone I will miss you all, and she will be back next week. And next Thursday, we actually will be kicking off our 2-day 3-year anniversary celebrations today, because we're going to do it on Thursday, March 30th, and Monday, April 3rd. So those two, the first night online open mic followed by the Monday night online open mic, both Elemental and Ray Chain will be with us both on Thursday and Monday, and we're going to celebrate having you guys been with us for 3 years and counting. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do it. We love you all. Thank you so much. We're going to open up the ticket and the spots to, I think, 30 or 35. We're going to give everyone 2 minutes. We're going to give you more details next week. Stay tuned. Come on out to this coming Monday's online open mic, and we'll also send you an email. So thank you again, guys, for all your support. Also, I want to give a shout out in the chat. Serene Idionga, we see you. Just a reminder, even though Elemental is guest hosting today, but like Ray Chain does every Thursday, we do have a good luck round. So if you didn't catch an artist RSVP ticket, let Elemental know. He would love to add you to the list. Idionga, it's been so long since we heard you. I think I last heard you at La Brua's 50th birthday party in person at the cafe. So please, I want to hear from you today. Same Serene, if you can, if you want to sign up, we love to hear from him. All right, in the chat, I put all of the information for the New York Poets Cafe, our website, our tickets, donations, where you can get merchandise, our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, social media handles, Elemental's information, Ray Chains, our Voices and Vibes, Paul Concasso, and yours truly at Ron Mark Thompson, and my organization at Bronx Art and Fun, BXAFH. Now, I want to mention we have quite a few programs coming up in the cafe in the next few days. So if you are in New York City, let me maximize this here. So first of all, tomorrow there is an in-person event in the cafe, 7 p.m. The Return of the Butterflies. I'm only going to read the English version because my Spanish, unfortunately, is not that good. Presented by La Barbie and Amplifica. La Barbie actually came to the Wednesday night poetry slam yesterday in person at the cafe, and she, read a beautiful poem. If you want to see and hear more from them, come on over and check us out. On Saturday in the cafe, on the 25th of March, 7:30 p.m., Revolutionary Tracks live, a radical open mic. And as you can see on the flyer, we have New York State Senator Kristen Gonzalez will be there, featuring comedian Jake Florian, and our own executive director, Emmy-winning poet La Brua will rock the stage in person at the cafe. Tickets are $15. You may purchase them at our ticket site. On Sunday, every last Sunday of the month, Salsa Jam with the legendary Combo Regan Ensemble. They will be singing, playing music, and you can dance. If you've never checked them out, I've been there myself last month. Come on, check them out. It is worth it. They are great. We love them. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8 o'clock. And as I want to thank everyone who made it to the Women's Orators Writing Workshops in the last 3 weeks. Today, Peggy led a wonderful workshop. Next week, we will conclude the 4-week series with our own executive director, La Brua. And unlike the 3 previous workshops, this one will be in person, not in Zoom, not hybrid. It will be in person next Thursday, March 30th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at Studio One. And you see the address. I actually did a typo on the address that I put in the email that I sent out to everyone this morning. It is 59-61 East 4th Street between Bowery and 2nd Avenue. It is in Manhattan. This one is free. It is facilitated and presented by Studio One, and La Brua will teach this workshop from 7 to 8, and then she will have a mini open mic from 8 to 8:30 with all the workshop attendees. If you've never been to any of La Brua's workshops, whether you didn't have the time or you couldn't afford tickets, this is your chance. This is free. She actually does this workshop at Studio One every last Thursday of the month. So we're basically combining the Women's Orators Writing Workshop next week with the Studio One workshop. Those workshops are always free. Check them out if you happen to be in New York City. We definitely recommend that. All right, let me stop the screen share here. Also a reminder, because I got some questions. Some poets DM'd me. Just a reminder, as Elemen2al and Ray Jane always mention at the beginning of the open mic, if you want to sign up for either the Monday or the Thursday night online open mic, go to our ticket site. You can always sign up for a view RSVP ticket. You don't have to, because the Zoom meeting ID is the same for Mondays, and it's separate but same for each Thursday. But if you want to snag yourself a performance slot 24 hours before the open mic, the artist RSVP option becomes available. We have 25 guaranteed spots on Monday, 20 on Thursday, plus the good luck round on Thursday. So don't hesitate, sign up, and we love to have you. And again, next week will be our 3-year anniversary. All right, on that note, I've said enough. Let me unmute our next performer, Bianca, and her Instagram has a few extra A's. Her Instagram handle has a few extra A's at the end. I guess somebody else must have taken the other ones already, though. But you are the only Bianca that has become a mainstay with us here at the online open mics. Bianca, it is so great to have you back. Please let everyone know where we may follow you, and then the next 3 minutes are all yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I went ahead and dropped my information, family. It's nice to be home again. I know I've been away for some time. But this piece is actually called Lovesick, and it was created in an art-defined space. It was one of the workshops that Paul Conqueso hosted. So it was an amazing time, because I've been having the biggest writer's block. But I combined the elements of Pisces season, which was the theme of the workshop. And so I combined being seasick and being in love and not knowing how defined that is sometimes. So yeah, I combined those elements of being seasick and being in love. So here we go with Lovesick. Love conquers all. Love conquers me. Love conquers us. Does love really conquer all? Can it cover up crevices of darkness peeking through, trying to digest the light it wasn't meant for? Can love show me ways to get to where I'm supposed to go, besides through pain and healing first? The space my body takes up is a bridge, filling the gap between a rock and a hard place. Only concrete thoughts are welcomed here, because I'm tired of floating and then sinking and then gasping for air. Love is finicky, like a fish out of water, baited by promises and trapped by vows, pulsating in a bucket filled with hope, like it kept trying to catch itself. Love creates laughter and sadness. It's a wild card of wisdom. It gives us a deck of cards we never know how to deal. Love conquers any conversation, but we never know if it's showing us shadows painted on the illuminated walls, or if it's a bloodline baited with broken promises. Love can be as deep as the ocean, but seems to only thrive in shallow waters, enough to see from the surface, drowning growth and washing away impurities of the conquered. Conquered like how the conquistadors loved on my people, so now we carry crucifixes of their names on the backs of our native tongue that now speaks of blended love, tongue twisted with confusion, tornadoes of troubled truth. And although I know it's tradition to forget, the memory of pain is embedded into my spine because my body carries the stories of my ancestors. So when it rains, it pours. And when it rains, my ancestors weep, weeping woefully as love conquers the corners of my mind, connoisseurs of the cerebral cortex that composes our consciousness, interlocking with hook, line, and sinker. I'm sinking, I'm floating, I'm gasping for air, but everyone stares like I've just reached the bottom of the fish tank love has put me in, a spectator sport. Everyone stares like love can't be fluid, as if love can't run through us. Only away from us, love conquers water. The tide's offering the gifts we think we need until it drowns us in tsunami sorrows. So when we talk about it, we can laugh until breathing becomes a gift. Or how love conquers women through social media gratification only to lure them into a world of trauma and left with cadavers of regret at the hands of men who had no intention of giving their hearts away, so they took hers instead. The love we embody always takes somebody. This is the love I know. This is how I remember it. The way a fish is still a fish even after it's been gutted. And do you think the fish forgave you? See, love can conquer anything. It can conquer your heart like a cancer, eating away until you're nothing but a vessel of your mistakes, disguising themselves as something beautiful. That kintsugi type of love, you know, like shattered but lacquered with gold to highlight how love could murder you into living. Love conquers your mind. Love tricks you into thinking that maybe, just maybe, you can sleep on a heavy heart, anchoring you to the ocean floor, swimming with the world's wonders, wondering if you'll ever be good enough. Does love really conquer all? Because I love thee with the love I seem to lose. Thank you.
OMG. I think your poem and your voice conquered us all. So I'm gonna let everyone else tell you what they thought about it. Go ahead, everyone.
That was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Bianca, it's been too damn long. It's been too long.
Yeah, good to have you back with us. That was great. Yeah.
Fire.
Love that.
Gosh. Heat.
That was amazing. Yes, that was fire. Oh my God, Bianca, what a unbelievable, amazing poem. So many quotable lines. You know, love is deep as the ocean. Love conquers water. Can love conquer anything, or love conquers your mind? I mean, Bianca, I am so impressed. Thank you so much for sharing that. You mentioned you wrote that in one of the Art Defined workshops with Paul. Yes, Paul Concasso and Ray Jane moonlight at another organization called Art Defined. I featured in one of their in-person poetic affair open mics at Lehman College in the Bronx last year. They are an incredible organization. You don't have to be a Bronx resident to attend them. Most of their workshops are free or donation based. I put the Eventbrite link in the chat. I really, recommended everyone, if you need, if you want to go to more workshops, check them out. The next one is actually this Sunday. Ray Jane will be back in Zoom and will present this Sunday's workshop. Their cycles, she and Paul, once a month each present a workshop there. So I hope Bianca, I'm sure, will be there again. Everyone else, do sign up. I know Gustav, you've been to Art Defiance open mics. I've seen you on the big screen. I was in Lehman College. You were on the big screen in Zoom. I love it. So thank you again, Bianca. So beautiful. Oh, I want to hear more. I wish there was more time. Well, on that note, let's hear from another great mainstay, someone I was able to meet in person a few months ago. He came to, I believe it was the Wednesday night poetry slam in the cafe, and he introduced himself like, "Hey Ron, it's me, Messiah." I'm like, "Yay, I remember you from the online open mic." So thank you so much for being back here online with us, Messiah. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. Go ahead, let everyone know where we may follow you, and then the floor is all yours.
Thanks a lot, Ron. It's great to be here again. You can follow me on Messiah, LORENCE, on Instagram. And I have 2 poems today I'd like to read. And the first is called Why I Write. I stand in the strange thoroughfare of humility, a sensation that suggests partial satisfaction, though I am far from satisfied. I am extended in a serendipitous constant, a battle cry of consciousness, a lung that draws in faith. Each day I open my eyes and breathe. I have seen and deeply mistrusted my reflection in the impression of unbridled joy echoed in life's withholding touch, its embrace in feverish wings that cut into the flesh wantonly. And I have stood on the passage to new life, too fearful to take the next step, where a twilight of perspective, when all seemed to be coming undone, caustically concealed the point in which being grows, the way one might bury one's child before they've had the chance to mature. Not quite alone anymore, though I array in what resolves to become a purgatory in my being, struggling to find access to that rapturous threshold, to attain happiness that is always somehow just beyond my reach, and to find the words that equivocate my silent approach to this tenuous pleasure I feel in the merest act of living, a form that is harnessed on value, something worth living for, a provisory reason that shapes and expresses the beauty of struggle. This is why I write, not simply for the satisfaction of describing my world, though it is an honor that you listen, or placing word in front of word like a humorous pastime, though it is a joy that others find something worthwhile in it. It is rather a process of sacred healing on wounds that deign to desecrate my journey to survival. I write for the love I might one day have for myself, to reach those whose view of life demands an alternative, those misunderstood drifters into the nightmares of their crazy souls, who like me place conviction in beauty despite a barren landscape, who look for some reason in a purposeless void where life's face is bitterly unconcealed, for love in a world that strips you down to an iota of desperation, where God no longer hears, where left alone at the mercy of yourself, you seek to strive with the deepest sincerity to approach yourself with deserved and hard-won affection, profoundly anchored in your own fluid mystery. I write to better understand, for levity, for clarity. I write for grace, and I write for you, lonely one, who like me, needs more than a little push to see the rare quality of one's own soul. And here's the second one. It's called A Conversational Piece About Nature. I have given some pliant thought to the vagaries of nature, as a seizure of realization has penetrated my agnostic and rescinded form of approach. By appearances, nature has always been a bulwark of absurdity, simultaneously giving like a boon of sacrament and taking like a vengeful lover in the raw uncertainty of experience. By nature, what do I mean? I say nature as lucent sun and immaculate flower, nature as skin and blood, hunger and need, nature as desire and passion in moments as cold as the tempests of winter and in other moments as warm as the fecund impressions of spring. By nature, I also mean the inexact certitude of an ineffable spell that casts over humankind and even perhaps the flower a laborious mystery. What was the universe before time began? What is the beauty of man before he is born? What is the flower to a universal mind? It is the question of being in its widest sense that gives unfathomable complexity to our lives that come a miracle in the strictest definition, and go, a death that is perhaps more enigmatic than the miracle to which we as a species are born, the faintest shadow of life. A miracle antecedent to reason, an enigma as preposterous as the birth of time. Nature remains absurd, and to us remains the eye of the needle, where to truly embrace life, one's own, and the life of others, one must challenge their preconceptions and limits, move past the narrow path of their own being into an infinite ocean, perilous and rapturous, a celestial storm of creation, decay, and recreation, and all generated matter in between, souls and gods, animals and saints, the lonely soul and the angel, the lover and the loveless. I believe that nature at its most unbridled is a journey of both painful separation for what you've conceived as self many times over, and marrying finally into your deepest nature to conceive yourself that is immortal and authentic, even as you die, perhaps beyond death, extant in the mind of God, where to know the universe, to know man, to know the flower, is to know this absurdity as a simple complexity, good and bad, beautiful and deadly, loathsome and adorable, all evinced as a design that displays its beauty simply and neatly. Or so I have thought, but after all, these are only just thoughts, and I am reminded time and again that nature, whether at its most unbridled or the narrow form that expresses our humanity, will never be circumscribed to a mere thought. So I continue to ponder myself and nature's source, myself, a small flame in the darkness of nature's wisdom. Thank you.
This is why we call this cat Dr. Strange, because he just made this whole place sanctum sanctorum. Unmute yourself, give it up for Messiah Payne.
Hell yeah, Messiah, yeah.
Pleasure hearing you for the first
Can't
time.
wait to hang out in New York in July, brother.
Yeah, it's like such profound. I mean, Messiah, you bring your A game, like it's amazing, and I want to say that to everyone here. I wish we could listen to you guys for everyone, like 5-10 minutes long. Everyone is bringing their A game. Thank you so much, Messiah. Thank you, everyone, for for your beautiful songs, poems, everything. All right, I'm sorry, I'm not the guest host today. Elemental, you go ahead.
Listen, Ron. It's a team, right? And if y'all don't know that, we're a team, right? I don't do this by myself.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? Ron is supposed to do what Ron's supposed to do, so I can do what I'm supposed to do, right? So make sure you follow Ron Mark Thompson. That dude really gives his all to our community every day of the week. Let me tell you, that cat is dedicated to our community. Shout out Bianca. Listen, that poem, listen, I'm glad, right? I'm glad, even though we haven't heard you, I'm glad that you're continuing with all the flame that you generate. Clearly, she said, a fish is still a fish, even if it's gutted, right? Take that with y'all. Messiah, I told y'all, that dude is Dr. fucking Strange, man. I'm telling you, that dude is a good sorcerer with these words. I'm telling you, he said he stood on the passage to light, right? A purgatory in my being. Come on, man. Come on, man. I write to a love I may one day have for myself. Come on, Messiah. Come on, Messiah. That's how you do it, man. Man, a mainstay of Thursday night, Messiah Payne, aka Dr. Strange. Make sure you are following Messiah and all their incredible work. Well, for real. All right, coming up next, this gentleman I have had the pleasure of rapping with on and offline. I mentioned earlier about people having their flow locked in. This cat is one of those cats. The one and only CP Mays is in the building this evening, y'all. And if he plans on doing what I think he plans on doing, just make sure your seat belts are fastened tightly because we are about to enter some turbulence. CP Mays, what's good, brother? Take it away.
Thank you. I'm a creative writing poetry major, and it's been weird. And I've had PTSD, and I process stuff deeply in the crazy way my brain works. And in the last month and a half, we've had 2 suicides on my campus. So I say that to say, you never know what someone's going through, that cliche, right? But like, love yourself even when it's hard, and try to love someone else until you can love yourself, Sometimes that's all we have. New shit. It's called Brainstorms Watch Me. Have some fun. I loves brainstorms that love, brainstorms that love, brainstorming bad body of works that loves, sexy similes with lovely liquored up loose morals that love to give dick and diction sloppy head, while several thick as hell horny dictionaries watch them us fuck out of love. I've never played with pussy the way poems with good pussy loves playing with me. I love running through figurative language with loose legs with no condoms on, because I love leaving throatful thought babies in the back of a metaphor's mouth. Me as a writer, I love the rush. Stop trying to blow out the trick candles in my opera house. Stop with the I need to stop with my stop sign smile. Stop speeding through the school zones of my childish maze. Stop road raging against self-love, saying I'm tired of you questioning my intentions tonight. May stop tailgating your washed up wishes with dirty dishes in karma's kitchen sink. Stop leaving all of your filthy forgive me fucked up past dirty laundry in her washing machine mouth. Stop straight jackets and boxer briefs from you bumping your pride inside her padded walls. Stop fashionable straight jackets from rapping their it's okay, I expected you to run away anyway arms around you. Stop taking your straight jacket joints into pawn shops just to see how much an honest hug is fucking worth. I am shitty tap water, 4 seconds away from being turned into wine. A choke back words chased with any shot of swallow someone else's pride. A water into wine, angry, alcoholic, drunk. I am picking sloppy fist fights with another religious god, y'all. I'm a really good reason to buy your pastor's cocktails at strip clubs that specialize in all nude revelations. Let me borrow a buck beautiful. I need to pay my low self-esteem something to do with its life, a hardly sober lifetime. Screaming at DJs, mixing on the ones and twos in heaven to play my favorite love song. My favorite love song sounds like the filaments in the firefly flock being turned on all at once. My favorite love song was written by Mother Mary and produced by Mary Magdalene. My favorite love song, when sung in Spanish, is entitled Hijo de Puta Ma. Tunnel Lights are sponsored by the forgotten faces of all the women I should have loved, y'all. Curtain calling fight or flight from exes to ex-wife to exes. Kick right when you exit stage right. Too much mouth to mouth in a suffocating marriage. It's why I picked up all of my good breaths and left me finding solutions to my drinking problems, left my drinking problems with stronger drinking problems, left my focus focused on I could give a fuck less about what you thinking problems, left my sanity sitting lonely, swimming slowly only from tip jar to tip jar, loving lonely, hold me closely, left my leftover love handles, holding closed caption coping mechanisms way too tight. Please heighten sixth sense, don't let me fall in love with someone else's Achilles heel tonight. I don't play with the full deck. Knowing Grim Reapers by their nicknames is how them show them signs of respect. Knowing Grim Reapers by their nicknames is how I showed them signs of respect. You he-ho did. Puta. Thank y'all.
Warned y'all about folks with their flow locked in. Unmute yourself. Give it up for C.
Yeah, no, that wasn't intense at all.
Yeah,
No,
wow.
That was
wow.
really,
Unreal.
good.
Holy.
Speechless. CP
He went
was
bananas.
Okay, Bianca, I've been waiting on that shit, right? Like,
Went bananas. I'm gonna need a fire extinguisher. Too much fucking fire.
just so y'all know, that is the creator of the term who just said that, right? Shout out to the West Coast G, Bianca, who penned the term bananas straight up. Listen, CP Mays kind of does this thing. And he has all the horny dictionaries watching him do his thing. God, man, listen. And I mentioned earlier to this cat, like, the only reason that I can't write it down is because I was busy, doing some other things. But I got you this time, mixing on the ones and twos in heaven. My favorite love song was written by listen, man. He said I picked up all my good breaths and left. Listen, I appreciate the way that you tell stories. I appreciate the way that you weave in and you dump your energy into the back of the throats of metaphors that you use. It's fantastic how you just weave all the things that you do, and then having the nerve to be a dope ass performer. Thank you, CP Mays. It's always a pleasure to hear your work. And the energy is definitely shifted. So appreciate that. Coming up next, this brother right here, man. Listen, I love this brother right here, man, because he does so many things for so many people, right? Because this cat will teach you things inside and outside of his classroom, right? He is quick to tell you that this community has saved his life, and I will second that, third it, fourth it, fifth it. It doesn't matter. The one and only propaganda poet is in the building. And I see he's got his instrument strapped on tonight. Hashtag Guitar Thursdays. It's going down, y'all. Prop. Let them know what it is. Get to it.
Hey, do me a favor. Unmute the other propaganda poet. There we go. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, I hope so. I don't know. I'm currently on the border of California and Nevada. On the Colorado River, and my signal is weird, so we'll try this and see if it works or not. Those of you who were there Monday, I recited a poem that was a song. This is the song. This is called To Live and Die in Oz. Strip away that road they say is paved with gold. You'll find it ain't so pretty. Vision's gone gold blind, trying to find the Emerald City. If only we could look beyond the mirror and find that one true omniscience. Finally, perhaps I could collect on all of my 3 wishes. If they only had a brain perhaps they wouldn't be quite so insane, and maybe our humanity wouldn't be bleeding down a drain if we only had a brain. If they only had a heart, maybe World War II wouldn't have to start, and our future generations wouldn't be falling apart. If we only had a heart. If they only could be brave, perhaps we wouldn't have to dig so many graves. Maybe there would actually be something left to save. If they only could be brave. Mr. Wizard, I don't want to be an American anymore, but there's no place like home. No place like home. Why can't we just leave well enough alone? You know, the day is gonna come when we're gonna have to atone. And you're not gonna be able to just sit and stare at your 55-inch plastic color screen or hide behind a tinted windows of some monster SUV. And if you really wanna be the big man, maybe you'll have two. And if you're having trouble getting yours, just find someone else to screw. There's no place like home. No place like home. And I think back to a time when we all had our own personal magic. People didn't stumble around with eyes so dark, 'cause life just wasn't so tragic. If only we could find the courage to speak the words that really needed to be said. Maybe we wouldn't be just leaving our children a planet that's already been left for dead. Now more than ever, we've got to work together and weave a worldwide magic spell. 'Cause after all, ain't we all got the same old sad stories to tell? Thank you for listening. Thank you for encouraging my behavior. I hope that worked. I don't know, my setup's pretty bad right now.
It worked.
But thank you all for doing what you do.
Fantastic prop.
That made my
Unmute
night.
yourself, folks.
Oh,
Give
to
it
say
up
it
for
worked is an
propaganda
understatement.
poet.
Understatement.
Put it
Yeah, it
all
worked.
into it.
So that guttural growl that you did in the middle of the song really got me.
It worked amazing. I'm glad we got to hear the acoustic version this time. You know, like, see, this is why everybody has to come both on Mondays and Thursdays. Now we're like, you know, we're doing the lyrics on Mondays and the acoustic version on Thursdays. And by the way, damn, I wish in Zoom we could do a guitar collaboration, but I know it's with the music is so propaganda. When you're gonna be in New York at the end of July, Adam, I want to see the both of you at the New Regan Poets Cafe stage. And if Joski and Bill happen to be in New York City at the same time, we're gonna get you all four up and we'll do a collaboration. But that was amazing propaganda. We love you. We love you. Wow.
Listen, prop actually just does this. You know, he happens to be a professor, and then he happens to then pick up a guitar. I've seen this dude with shakers in his hand. I've seen this dude, again, the only cat that I've ever seen play drums and recite poetry at the same time. The one and only propaganda poet. Seriously, make sure you're plugging in with Oso Lobo. Listen, if they only had a brain, they would be listening to propaganda poet. If they only had a heart, they would feel what Oso Lobo just said. However, that is why we are here, to make sure that we continue to encourage all of your behavior, Prop. Always. Man, love that dude. Coming up next, I really dig this gentleman. And I have a tendency of calling him the Vincent Price of poetry because of the way that his delivery, again, I love people whose flow is locked in, and this gentleman's flow, it might as well be Fort Knox type of lockdown. The one and only Ike Waltz is in the building. Sir, it is a pleasure to see you this evening. Please take it away.
Good to see you all. UNESCO adopted the 21st of March as World Poetry Day, and that in 1999, with the aim of supporting linguistic diversity through poetic expression and increasing the opportunity for endangered languages to be heard. Since Tuesday was World Poetry Day, I like to read a poem by a Romanian immigrant, Delmore Watts, 1913 to 1966. He was a respected peer and friend of John Berryman, Robert Lowell, and other great poets of his era. Outside of the poetry world, he is probably best known as the college teacher of Lou Reed of the rock band Velvet Underground, who credits him in his tribute essay as the person who inspired him to write. The Heavy Bear Who Goes With Me is one of Schwartz's best-loved poems. Its central image of the inescapable bear is highly evocative and yet resists a simple interpretation. Hence, my choice of tonality. The heavy bear who goes with me. The religious philosopher Alfred North Whitehead called it the witness of the body. I call it when the body speaks. The heavy bear who goes with me. A manifold honey. Smell his face, clumsy and lumbering here and there, the central ton of every place, the hungry, beaten, project one in love with candy, anger, and sleep. Resi factotum, the traveling all, climbs the building. The football boxes his brother in the hate-ridden city. Breathing at my side, that heavy animal, that heavy bear who sleeps with me, howls in his sleep for a world of sugar and a sweetness intimate as the water's clasp, howls in his sleep because the tightrope trembles and shows the darkness beneath. The strutting show-off is horrified, dressed in his chest suit, bulging his pants, trembles to think that his quivering meat must finally wince to nothing at all. That inescapable animal walks with me, has followed me since the black womb held, moves where I move, distorting my gesture, a caricature, a swollen shadow, a stupid clown of the spirit's motif, perplexes and affronts with his own darkness. The shrieked life of belly and bone, opaque, too near, my private yet unknown stretches to embrace the very dear with whom I would walk. Without him, near. Touches her crossly, also a word would bear my heart and make me clear. Stumbles, flounders, and strives to be fed. dragging me with him and his mousing care amid the 100 million of his kind. The scrimmage of appetite everywhere. Thank you.
I mean, listen, I told y'all, Vincent Price, right? Unmute yourself, give it up for Ike Waltz.
All right. Another
That
great
was-
one.
Amazing.
Yeah. I enjoy listening to him all the time.
Listen, I love, again, I mentioned this before he started, I love people who have their flow locked in, right? And Ike Waltz is one of those folks. You're just you're very, you have a performer spirit. Even though, you got this Vincent Price tone, man, it is so freaking, like, I don't know, like for real, are you sure it wasn't you on Michael Jackson's Thriller? Like, are you sure, man? Because listen, it's so, like, again, it's a signature, right? Beyond the fact that you're an incredible writer, like, your flow is so locked in, man. Listen, I'm surprised that these major Hollywood people have not come to you and just, listen, like, just read our opening line. Like, you are one of those cats, man, for real. And then you have the nerve to be kind of a dope writer. So appreciate you, Ike, for real. I truly hope that you don't feel that the Vincent Price thing is a dig on you. It's really not. It's really, to me, it's respect, because there's only one Vincent Price. And there is no Vincent Price in poetry until I met Ike Waltz. So thank you for doing what you do, Ike, for real. Ike is a monster with it, for real. And he's so soft-spoken. Damn it. My choice of tonality, yeah, it's right in there, Ike, and it's yours. It's like you own that whole damn frequency, man. Like you were just a member of the FCC, and then we're just gonna take this frequency and call it Ike. Ike is Ike. Appreciate you, Ike. All right, coming up next, I see he hasn't changed his name, but I know this cat. The LA cats are just in the building, right? We started out early with Bill Elkins from LA, and there's another cat from LA coming up, but this next cat is also from LA. Listen, I've seen this brother do his thing, and this is the only cat that I know that has ever read a poem to a metronome, and the shit was fine. Damn it. I don't know too many people who could do something like that and pull it off and make it dope like that. The one and only subject matter is in the building.
Oh, thank you, brother. I'm sort of multitasking, so I'm going to keep my screen up. And
let's do it. I mean, listen, I'm always ready to hear what you do, man. However you do it, take it away.
All right. I'm gonna slip in too, so I'm not gonna waste any time. The first poem is called Park Bench. If you only knew the stories I have to tell. If you could only eavesdrop on conversations held between white daisies and blades of grass. Sunlight peeks through trees, tries to get a glimpse of new characters in the scene that seek solitude with me. Or maybe they're just old characters returning for an encore. I've seen it all. Though I'm just a park bench, I hear and feel my worn wooden slats remember. I've witnessed new love, tears of joy sliding down cheekbones, frolicking children. I've witnessed long conversations about summer love coming to an end by extended hugs. My steel frame grows tired at times. I've trembled beneath volcanic compassion, observed transitions to autumn, the infatuation of green leaves fade into different colors of reality, fall to the ground, leaving limbs naked and trembling. Gray hair and wrinkled hands have sat on their favorite two-seat bench, day in and day out, only to arrive alone one day, wiping a tear from their eye with a white handkerchief, calling pigeons by name, feeding them breadcrumbs, coos of empathy are understood. Feather friends try to console by gathering in the empty seat next to them. 60 years of love were silently disrupted during midnight embrace. An empty bed is too cold to bear. They pray in agreement for another pair of angel wings between soft whimpers from a park bench. Subject matter, that's that piece.
Oh man, he went with the damn park bench. Unmute yourself, y'all. Give it up for subject matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was wondering where that park bench fit in, you know, because that image, like, wow, you're amazing. You're amazing. It's
That was beautiful.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Right, right, Joski. Like, listen, I listen. I'm from a school of poetry, and my mentors told me, wow, thank you for that. The legend in our community, you know, giving me information. I'm from a school of poetry that is about. My mentors told me a real poet can write a whole poem about a blade of grass. And what he just did, he put himself as a park bench, and he mentioned he was privy to conversations between white daisies and blades of grass. Come on. Conversations, come on. And then had the nerve to wrap it about summer love coming to an end with extended hugs. Come on. The infatuation with green leaves. Come on. And of course, I saw a few folks, right? Coos of empathy or understood. Come on, man. Right? Come on, man. Park bench, feeling that. Come on. That's how it's done. Appreciate you, subject matter, for coming through with all your creativity and you know, showing us the life of a park bench and how magical it can be. Appreciate you. Coming up next, before I get to that, Michael Sindler let me know that Vincent Price's son is actually a published poet, right? So, you know, it's not too far outside of his bloodline to get down. Appreciate that. Also, shout out to Melinda Lucas for being here. This next poet is an enigma in the best of senses. I've seen this gentleman do things with his voice and then with instruments that I've never actually seen people play, but he had the nerve to play it and then record it and then spit some poetry over it. Then he picks up a violin. Listen, this brother, this is why they call him the Baba, the one and only Ngoma. Please unmute yourself and let this universe know what artistry from Ngoma sounds like. Take it away.
What's up, y'all? It's good to be here. I got one short poem and one longer poem, and I'm not playing instruments because one of the problems is I live in an apartment and I can't really play like I want to play this time of night. So that's what's up. This is kind of a tough love poem for Women's History Month. It's called A Tip to the Pretty Young Waitress Behind the Bar. Don't get drunk and pass out in a room full of frat boys. They'll think you're a slut and that they were entitled because they're jocks, want to be rock stars, privileged assholes. You'll find yourself butt-ass naked in the morning with your panties dangling from the bedpost. They'll say you weren't date raped. You just decided to give it away. If you threaten to tell, they'll think it's swell for the frat's reputation. They took pictures of the whole thing. It could go viral by high noon. Your mom will want to know why you didn't follow her advice and keep your dress down and your knees together. Your shrink will be happy getting paid to straighten out your head. When you look into a mirror, you'll wish that you were dead. The doctor may not have anything for that itch you acquired. They'll try to make you think it was your fault. It wasn't. I repeat, they'll try to make you think it was your fault. It wasn't. Blame it on the alcohol. Truth be told, blame it on the cowboy culture we live in. Blame it on rednecks in red states. Blame it on the legacy of the dysfunctional family called America with its itchy trigger finger mentality and a death grip on your sanity. Just realize the fact that in today's society, you've got to watch your back. It could be dangerous out here. And this tip is far more valuable than the loose change and lint in my pocket. I'm sorry you can't spend it. I'm short on cash, but you'll appreciate it in the morning. Anyway, that's one. The second one I'm gonna do is a tribute to the New Eurekan Poets Cafe by one of its founders. It's a poem called, the founder's name is Pedro Pietri. Some of y'all might know him. He was a personal friend of mine. This poem is called Puerto Rican Obituary. They worked, they were always on time. They were never late. They never spoke back when they were insulted. They worked, they never took days off that were not on the calendar. They never went on strike without permission. They worked 10 days a week and were only paid for 5. They worked, they worked, they worked, and they died. They died broke, they died owing, they died never knowing what the front entrance of the First National City Bank looks like. Juan, Miguel, Milagros, Olga, Manuel, all died yesterday, today, and will die again tomorrow, passing their bill collectors on to the next of kin. All died waiting for the Garden of Eden to open up again under a new management. All died dreaming about America, waking them up in the middle of the night screaming, "Mira, mira, your name is on the winning lottery ticket for $100,000. All died hating the grocery stores that sold them make-believe steak and bulletproof rice and beans. All died waiting and dreaming and hating. Dead Puerto Ricans who never knew they were Puerto Ricans, who never took a coffee break from the 10 Commandments or to kill the landlords of their cracked skulls and communicate with their Latino souls. Juan, Miguel, Milagros, Olga, Manuel, from the nervous breakdown streets where the mice live like millionaires and the people do not live at all, are dead and were never alive. Juan died waiting for his number to hit. Miguel died waiting for the welfare check to come and go and come again. Milagros died waiting for her 10 children to grow up and work so she could quit working. Olga died waiting for a $5 raise. Manuel died waiting for a supervisor to drop dead so he could get a promotion. It's a long ride from Spanish Harlem to Long Island Cemetery where they were buried. First the train and then the bus and the cold cuts for lunch and the flowers that would be stolen when visiting hours are over. Is very expensive. It's very expensive, but they understand, their parents understood. It's a long nonprofit ride from Spanish Harlem to Long Island Cemetery. Juan, Miguel, Milagros, Olga, Manuel, all died yesterday, today, and will die again tomorrow, dreaming about Queens, clean-cut lily white neighborhood, Puerto Rican less seen, $30,000 homes, the first spics on the block, proud to belong to a community of gringos who want them lynched, proud to be a long distance away from this sacred phrase, "Que pasa?" These dreams, these empty dreams from the make-believe bedrooms their parents left them are the after effects of television programs about the ideal white American family with Black maids and Latino janitors who are well-trained to make everyone and their bill collectors laugh at them and the people they represent. Juan died dreaming about a new car. Miguel died dreaming about new anti-poverty programs. Milagros died dreaming about a trip to Puerto Rico. Olga died dreaming about real jewelry. Manuel died dreaming about the Irish sweepstakes. They all died like a hero sandwich dies in the garment district at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Social Security number to ashes, union dues to dust. They knew they were born to weep and keep the morticians employed as long as they pledge allegiance to the flag that wants them destroyed. They saw their names listed in the telephone directory of destruction. They were trained to turn the other cheek by newspapers that misspelled, mispronounced, and misunderstood their names and celebrated when death came and stole their family lottery ticket. They were born dead and they died dead. It's time to visit Sister Lopez again, the #1 healer and fortune card dealer in Spanish Harlem. She can communicate with your late relatives for a reasonable fee. Good news is guaranteed. Rise, table, rise. Death is not dumb, and dumb is disabled. Those who love you want to know the correct number to play. Let them know this right away. Rise, table, rise. Death is not dumb and disabled. Now that your problems are over and the world is off your shoulders, help those who left behind find financial peace of mind. Rise, table, rise, table. Death is not dumb and disabled. If the right number we hit, all our problems will split, and we will visit your grave on every legal holiday. Those who love you want to know the correct number to play. Let them know that right away. We know your spirit is able. Death is dumb and disabled. Rise, table, rise. Juan, Miguel, Milagros, Olga, Manuel, all died yesterday, today, and will die again tomorrow. Hating, fighting, and stealing, broken windows from each other, practicing a religion without a roof. The Old Testament, the New Testament, according to the gospel of the internal revenue, the judge and jury and executioner, protector and eternal bill collector, secondhand shit for sale. Learn how to say, ¿Cómo está usted? And you will make a fortune. They are dead, and will not return from the dead until they stop neglecting the art of their dialogue for broken English lessons to impress the Mr. Goldsteins who keep them employed at Lava Pilatos. Portex messenger boys, factory workers, maids, stock clocks, shipping clerks, assistant, mailroom assistant to the assistant, lava planes, and automatic artificial smiling dolmen for the lowest wages of the ages, and rages when you demand the raise because it's against the company policy to promote spics. From Juan died hating Miguel because Miguel's used car was in better running condition than his used car. Miguel died hating Milagros because Milagros had a color television set and he could not afford one yet. Milagros died hating Olga because Olga made $5 more on the same job. Olga died hating Manuel because Manuel had hit the numbers more times than she had hit the numbers. Manuel died hitting all of them. Juan, Miguel, Milagros, and Olga, because they all spoke broken English more fluently than he did. And now they are together in the main lobby of the void, addicted to silence, off limits to the wind, confined to worm supremacy in Long Island Cemetery. This is the groovy hereafter the Protestant collection box was talking so loud and proud about. Here lies Juan, here lies Miguel, here lies Milagros, here lies Olga, here lies Manuel, who died yesterday, today, and will die again tomorrow. Always broke, always owing, never knowing that they are beautiful people, never knowing the geography of their complexion. Puerto Rico, oh, okay, that's that. So anyway, that's Pedro Pietri. He was one of the founders of the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, and I just had to do that poem, in honor of him.
I mean, I think you honored every single one of the bricks in that brick and mortar. Unmute yourself, please.
Absolutely, yes. Bringing what this space really means. And that first piece really taught us what being a real ally is, validating that experience. That was beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Really
yes.
stuff, man.
Yes.
Amazing. I sat with this guy when he came back from the Poetry Festival last year on the ferry from Governor's Island to Manhattan. I sat across from him, and I am so blessed. Oh my God, thank you for reading this. That was amazing.
Thank y'all for listening.
Listen, in Goma, like I said, he is an enigma of the best kind. I've never heard a poet like Ngoma. Thank you for sharing such a powerful piece that really connects us all, right? I've said this, you can do your own research on it if you like. Puerto Ricans, the only difference between people who consider themselves Puerto Rican and people who consider themselves Black is where the boat landed, okay? We come from the same place, we are the same people, we landed on lands that were colonized by different folks. Right. That's why there are so many similarities between us. And that's why we'll always be in the same spaces. Right. We don't war, we don't feud, because we are basically the same people. I want to definitely touch on the first poem, you said the Puerto Rican obituary. He said they never take days off that weren't on the calendar. Also waiting for the Garden of Eden to open with new management. Come on, man. Come on, man. I hope y'all know when they closed the Garden of Eden, right? Like, you know what I mean? It hasn't been open since. We're still waiting for new management. But what you said though, Ngoma, was a lot of truth that, you know, I don't know about, but there's so much to it, right? You said one died waiting for a welfare check to come. One, you know, died waiting for a supervisor to drop dead so they can get a promotion, right? It's just, you know, listen, he said, where the mice live like millions, right? I've heard stories about the bodega cats, and they are pretty mean. You mentioned the founders dreamed about anti-poverty programs, right? They all died like a hero sandwich in the garment district. Come on, man. Said he wanted them to pledge allegiance to the flag that wants them destroyed. Listen, this is why I love what we do, right? Because we get a chance to say the things that really need to be said, how they need to be said. Thank you, Baba, for doing that. Really, for reminding people that, you know, we all come from people who stepped into this realm very fearlessly, but they had their own issues that they were fighting, but still made time to try to not only enhance our community, but to educate our community in so many ways. Thank you for keeping that spirit alive. Truly, you've honored all of us and the founders of the cafe with that. Truly appreciate you. Coming up next and rounding out the guaranteed list this evening, I love to say that this brother is cool as the other side of the pillow. Another LA native. This gentleman, I'm telling you, he is just as fly in person as he is in the Zoomverse. The one and only Dark Man Blues, aka Samuel Rain Benjamin, is in the building. Brother, do it.
Thank you. Since we're in the overtime, I'm going to take this next 2 minutes and 40 seconds to love you with all of my senses, not just the 5 dimension, my 360 coming in dimensions, encompassing. If I were making love, I would inhale the scent of you like the sheiks do. Take your breath away like a silent movie to be deeper into you. You sing it to me and I come alive. As the fire in your body engulfs the depth of my soul, I feel you like music. Now she knows I would read her. She is a love poem. And now she's that motion picture I want to star in. Not just acting. I wanted that Dark Man Blues thing, loving a queen. I wanted to hero myself in, taking chances, loving her like she wants to be. So I told her, take this like you own me. No doubt I'm about this life, 2 souls becoming one if it's you, setting the scale for me, asking when my love's in need, speaking R.I.P. to the love I used to be addicted to. Yes, I found myself addicted. I had to drop digits. My wanting to hear sexy, damn, I wanted to taste it. Like a drug, it had me. It was like confirmation, and in another moment, I had to have it. Making those pillows scream once again. To have her taking me deep like my dreams. It's got me addicted. Now, Norican, you can call me what you want, but love me like you're insane. Don't water down your affections. Give in to me like you want these directions. Let me set the fire inside of you. Now, imagine what I'm going to do. Feel me, touch me, tease me just a little, let me in deep. I'm that complicated freak out to get it. Embrace my dare. Let me hit this right here. I'm that number 9, zodiac sign, Sagittarius. Thank you.
I told y'all that dude is cool with it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dark Man Blue.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful.
I love how he approaches what he does. I truly do, right? Because again, and listen, I love so much of everyone being so unique, right? He said, "R.I.P. to the love I used to be addicted to," right? Have her taking me deep like my dreams. Love me like you're insane. Come on, man. Come on, man. Unbridled love and passion like insanity. I told y'all that brother's cool, man. Make sure you're plugging into Samuel Rains. Darkman Blues has got so many different things going on. Listen, make sure you plug in with that dude. That dude is cool. For real. Appreciate you, Darkman. So that concludes the guaranteed list this evening. As far as I know, there is only one person on the good luck round. And listen, I am glad that we get a chance to hear this poet. I know personally that this poet is going through some things, and I hope, truly, truly hope that with this space that we are about to give this poet, that they will find some healing in it. The one and only Serene is in the building. Unmute yourself, Serene. Let these folks know where they can find you if they so choose, and introduce them to your incredible work. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemental. I just love you and Ron. Thanks for having me. I'm just gonna do two short pieces. If you want to find me, I'm on IG and Facebook under serene.poems.etc. And trigger warning, this deals with narcissistic abuse and molestation. Lockjaw. Wired my mouth shut, covered it in shame. Shame is a heavy slug, teeth tightening, grinding, a feverish, incessant grind, a terrifying, trembling act, a nightmare of tense turbidity. Your words stitched mouths, then wrapped eyes in gauze. I was taught to turn the other cheek, but each blow landed square on the jaw. And this next one is for my daughter, who I currently don't have in my life, but hope to sometime soon. And so this is a little bittersweet. Vile thoughts fill the room. Why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you protect her? Why do you think abuse is okay? A family member doesn't make it okay. Was she not important enough? Worthy enough? Was her happiness not important? She will not be swept under the rug. She will not be taken advantage of. She will not be put down, ridiculed, and criticized. She will not be entrapped and enmeshed. She will be bold, strong, empowered, and independent. She will have a voice of her own, and all will hear it. Watch as her trapped wings unfold. Watch her build her empire one brick at a time, towering above yours. Watch her move with grace and dignity, away from all that has bound her. You, my dear girl, deserve far better. And that's it.
There's just so much in those lines. Unmute yourself, please. Give it up.
Just love your strength and your determination and your grace. Wish you all the best.
They're very brave. Stay strong, and thank you for reading those two. I'm so glad you signed up. Thank
We're
you.
all with you, Serene.
Yes.
Really beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Serene.
Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry, Serene. I'm gonna come back at you. Unmute, please. Listen.
I was just gonna say thank you for having me, and every voice needs to be heard, and narcissistic abuse is very detrimental. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, well, they didn't hit you. It doesn't matter. Abuse is abuse. So,
Here's the thing about that, right? And just for, I mean, I'm dealing with it myself, right? I'm a child of domestic violence, right? And I've heard so many times, some people would much rather take the physical abuse because at least those scars and bruises heal.
Right.
But the ones that you're talking about, they tend to stay open, and it doesn't get any easier. However, in the midst of those things, you get stronger. That is the key.
For sure.
That's the key. Doesn't matter whatever else is going on around you and in your life, you get stronger. That is how you stand your ground. Thank you, Serene, for sharing that with us. Clearly, all these folks are here with you, sharing their love and their energy with you. You're never alone. Reach out if you need to. All right, folks. We got one more person on the good luck round, right? Rounding out the evening. Listen, and I love it, right? This poet just hit me up. It's like, wait. I need to get on the mic. Absolutely, we are here for it. Absolutely, Miss Asia, we are here for it. I am looking forward to you closing out the night with every ounce of gracious poetry that you want to share with us this evening. Please take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm not going to go on camera, but I am going to give a trigger warning. Yeah. This piece is unnamed right now. All roads end. Map the hows and whys, so varied the paths. I dreamt of a hand. It must have been soft and beautiful, uncalloused, lined, wrinkled at the knuckles, fatty in some spots, fleshy. Oval-shaped nails that were kept at some point, manicured, painted, red or blue or pink or glittered. Hands that sported perfume lotions and leather gloves against the cold. Hands that held face and gave embrace. Hands that cooked and cleaned. Hands that clapped enthusiastically. Hands that banged on tables in disdain. Hands that handled business and delivered care just the same. The same hand stood up out of the soil, almost as if grasping for something, like a hand breaking ground, coming up like a prop in some zombie movie, except this hand was real. And here it was erupting from the earth. These same hands must have fought. The curve in the hand told a story. The stiffness that set in told of her demise. Nails once held the name of the perpetrator, now washed away by rain and wind and time. The broken nails and faded polish explained her end, but not significant for the news. Someone decided, made a choice. Maybe she went for milk after dark. Maybe she believed an internet stranger. Maybe she was led. Maybe she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe she was unsuspecting. Maybe she told him she was with child. Maybe she worked. Maybe she studied. Maybe she simply loved, trusted, was naive, young, experienced, desperate, hungry, lonely, living, but coerced, raped, trafficked, sold, abused, maimed, scarred, tortured, killed. She was. That was somebody's mama, daughter, sister, auntie, friend, cousin, colleague, confidant, lover, but now only remnant. The hand no longer soft and supple, but weathered. The hand visible to anyone who would just look. It lay in wait for discovery, and yet no one seemed to see it, although oddly it was in plain sight. But it's no wonder, as it was brown, and it came out of the dirt. Protect Black women. Here are some not so fun facts. According to the FBI, 57.5% of all juvenile prostitution arrests are Black children. A 2-year review of suspected human traffickers across the country found that 40% of sex trafficking victims were identified as Black women. In an interview, traffickers admitted that they believed that trafficking Black women would land them less jail time than trafficking white women if they got caught. 1 in 4 Black girls will be sexually abused before the age of 18. According to the United States Department of Justice, 1 in 5 Black women are survivors of rape. 35% of Black women experience some form of sexual violence during their lifetime. The National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey says that 40 to 60% of Black women report being subjected to coercive sexual contact by the age of 18. In the United States, 38% of Black women experience sexual violence other than rape during their lifetime. 17% of Black women experience sexual violence other than rape by their intimate partner during their lifetime. African-American girls and women 12 years and older experience higher rates of rape and sexual assault than white, Asian, and Latina girls and women. Among students, 11% of Black girls in a national high school sample reported having been raped. 40% of confirmed sex trafficking survivors in the United States are Black. Protect Black women. Protect Black women. Protect Black women. Peace.
Nah, that ain't peace. That's war. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Asia.
Yes, protect Black women. You tell them. Oh,
Indeed.
wow. What a powerful statement. That was great.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Michael, for vocalizing that. Listen, it's a beautiful way to end the night, because it talks about what basically the month is about, right? It's about women's empowerment. It's about knowledge of women, right? Listen, I've said plenty of times, right? I believe Black women are the most hypersexualized being on the planet. And when you start looking at some of the things that you're mentioning, and some of those stats, listen, the numbers don't lie. Okay, you can do your own research about the numbers, right? 57% of all prostitution arrests are Black children. Trafficking Black women will get you less time than trafficking white women. That's not about preference. That's law. You can do those, search those things yourself. I think the most disturbing thing about what you said, thank you for the trigger warning in the beginning, but you said so many women had dealt with sexual violence other than rape. That's disturbing, right? Other than rape. So that means that people are creatively thinking about how to do horrible things to people. Protect each other, please. Look out for each other, please. Check in on your friends, check in on your families. Make sure you know how people are doing, because there are predators hanging out. There are people who like to do horrible things to people. Make sure you know who your friends are. Check on them. Love on your friends. Love on your family. Let them know that you actually love them. I'm going to get y'all out of here, and I'm going to end it the way that the Queen does it. I'm going to ask everyone to unmute themselves, and I will give y'all the 10-second countdown, right? Just so you can share all the love with each other. Make sure that you're yelling and screaming at each other and telling each other how much y'all love each other. Please unmute yourselves. Really.
Yeah, thanks for
love
bringing
on
all that
y'all.
truth.
Ron, you
Love
take
you
us out when
all.
you're ready.
Love you
All right.
guys.
Oh man.
Keep going.
Oh,
Keep
it
going.
is
Great
so
stuff tonight.
fantastic.
Really,
Love
really
all of you.
So
touching
much love.
stuff at the end there.
So
Thank you,
Very
Elemen
important.
and Ron.
powerful
My
to
life
be with
just
y'all.
simply would not be the same without you.
Yeah, we wouldn't be the same without you too. So
Listen,
we want
I
to see you
love
every
all of
time we
y'all.
can.
Really, thank you for allowing me to be the host this evening, for me to share my Thursday night with y'all and be in this space with all of y'all. I truly appreciate you. Make sure you find yourself on Monday night. I truly appreciate all of y'all. Love, peace, and blessings.
Yes, all the old voices and the new ones, everybody.
Get one of Elemental shirts if you still can. Yeah.
This works, baby. Gustav is the dude. I'm telling you. I love all y'all, man. For real. Thank you for making
The
Thursday
fashion
night
Vegas.
such a great
Take care,
night.
fam.
Really.
Love you so much. Mwah.
Man, for real. Can't wait till next Thursday.
Yes, thank you guys. Come on all three.
And Monday.
And Monday. Come Monday. Thank you, Elemental, for
Monday
guest
night is,
hosting.
y'all.
Great
Come
team.
on. You
John
know
Marshall,
what Monday
thank you
night
all.
is. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'll see y'all next week.
Right.